Okay, so now we've created our send tracks, let's look to creating some drums. So we're working at 125 BPM, and if we load up the folder entitled drums, we can see all our samples here that we're going to be using for this tutorial. So the first thing we'll do is load in a kick drum. Now this kick drum is one of our own deep matter kick drums that's probably been layered and resampled over the last few years. Now I would highly recommend that you do create your own kick drum folders, because it saves bags of time when it comes to finding the right kick drums, and it's usually a lot easier to locate something solid that you can use in your tracks from the off. So let's just load this in by dragging it from the folder into Logic, and let's just have a listen to that. So as you can hear, it's quite punchy. It's already got the weight and the body that we're looking for. So let's just drag that and make that into a 4-bar loop by holding Alt and dragging. Now we can create some variation on the 4th bar by doubling up the last kick and making it into 2. And then we'll duplicate that over again to make it 8, and on the last beat of the 8th bar we'll delete that. We can add something like a fill or a snare roll here, just to add a little bit of interest. So let's just play that through. Okay, that sounds great. So the next thing we'll do is add a click to the top of the kick, as I think it sounds great, but maybe a little bit of a pop to make it cut through the mix. Now to do this, we're going to be using Sonic Academy Kick 2. We'll create it mono. Now we're going to be using this in MIDI as opposed to audio. So the first thing we need to do is right click and create empty MIDI region. We can draw this in anywhere. Doesn't matter, it's not key defined until we start programming the synth itself. So let's just copy that over to mirror a kick pattern from channel 1. So in the 4th one we're going to add 2, and on bar 8 we're going to remove that last beat. So let's play that. So by default we've got the sub oscillator working, which we don't need, so we can turn this off by using this fader in the bottom right, and then we'll get just the clicks. So let's have a listen to the click on its own, and let's play that with the bottom kick. Turn it down a little bit. So that's nicely leveled in there, and our kick's working just fine. So for housekeeping purposes, we'll call this top kick, and then let's have a look in our sample folder and grab the next piece of percussion. So we'll go straight in with the open hat, drag that in, zoom in. Now this one's going to be placed on the offbeat, so we can simply just copy and paste these like this. Let's have a listen. So that's nice, it's quite scratchy, got a lot of high end. Let's double click into the EQ and remove any lower frequencies. A 24 dB slope will be fine. And let's just duplicate that across the 8-bar duration. And with the kick, sounding great. So now let's add the claps. We've got 2 claps laid up together, so we can drag them both in, and we'll audition them one at a time so you can hear what we sound like. So this one's a pre-shifted one, and this is a more short snappy one. So let's position these on the second kick. Now the second sample we can easily just put that straight on there because it's the transient's hitting straight away. However, the first one is a pre-shifted one, so it's actually crunching in. So we actually need to zoom in, find out where the transient is, which is there. And I usually put a slice in there and then drag that on there. So this will now crunch onto the beat in harmony with the snappy clap. Oh. Put these on the right position. Let's just check that. We can do this. We could put the metronome by pressing K on our keyboard. That's great. Let's turn it down a little bit and mix it in with the snappy clap. That's great. Now, something that might be useful because we've got two clap channels is just to hold shift and select them both, right click on one of the channels, create track stack, summing stack, and now this is going to group them to one output that we can rename clap, and we can control or EQ this with one channel as opposed to doing them both individually. So let's check this now. You can see that this fader is controlling the volume output of both claps. So one thing we might want to do first is add some EQ. Turn on the analyzer. There's not much going off in the bottom end, but we'll take that off anyway. We'll use a 48 dB slope. Maybe push up the high end to add a little bit more crispiness, and then we can use a reverb from one of the sends. We'll use small room. And let's play that with the kick and hat. Great, that sounds great. So the next sample we use is a close hat, and we're going to use this to add a little bit of rhythm in between the open hat and the claps. Okay, so we're going to be working on swing setting swing D, which is about 61 that we can see here on the position marker. So as we move this, we can see this number changing, 72, and we want this to be around 61, which is swing D, like I said. So let's try this. Take it down. Yeah. So we'll put one on the first bar, and then we'll speed up the rhythm a little bit on the second bar by adding 2. That's 61. And same position as the first bar on the second sample. So let's check this. Yeah, that sounded good. Let's copy these over. Put a slice in there just to use as a grab point. And we'll copy these with the 8 bars. Let's check that. Yeah, that's great. So now maybe we'll add a little snare trip to complement the close hat. So we've also got this sample here. Let's see if it's 25 or 19. It must be 19. So let's have a look at putting this on this D swing before the third kick. we go. Let's have a listen. Knock off some bottom end. So same again, the second bar will busy the rhythm. And these are just going to be doing the same pattern as the close hats. So let's check that now. Great, so let's copy that over to complete the 8 bar loop. So now we've got them in, we can add in a few more sparkly bits such as crash cymbal. I can come straight in, bottom end off. There's already a nice bit of reverb on that sample, so there's no need to add any more at this stage. So that's that, simple as that. And the last thing we'll do is add in another snare 25, and we can use this at the end. So maybe a simple pattern. And maybe busier on the last bar where the kick drops out. Okay. Let's just check that. Great, so let's have a listen to all that together. Yeah, so these are incorrect. They just want pushing over. Try that. Take off the bottom end of this snare. So yeah, just a little bit too much bottom end on that fill snare, so let's just play that in solo. Great, so that sounds really good, and that completes our 8 bar loop.
Thanks everybody for watching, commenting and indeed liking. We really do appreciate all the support we get here on our Sonic Academy YouTube channel. So if you found this video super useful, please, we'd love you to hit the subscribe button. We update the YouTube channel every week with new content, and if you want to watch some more relevant content, just click on the videos beside me.